Hi Madam, this is the continuation of Report of Rosie Bailin, which is Lesson 20, Theoretical Explanations of Deviance. So, letter C, Symbolic Interaction Theory, is a sociology theory that seeks to understand human relationship with their society by focusing on their symbols that help their as give meaning to the experiences in our life. And symbolic interaction is the interaction between individual on how we interact other people um, to understand the situations based on our experiences in our life. So, this paradigm states that deviance is learned through the interaction with other deviant people and involve the development of deviant concept. So, we're talking about deviance. So, deviant is a criminal violation that the concept of crime, rule-breaking behavior, example, robbery, theft, rape, murder, and assault, and also drug use or excessive drinking or bullying. So, muna siya deviance activities. So, how does deviance been created? So, deviance been created through interaction with other deviant people. So, when you are part of a group, um, um, you are a part of the group of people that create deviance activity. You also engage that um, activity because you learn something from them. So, according to this theory, deviance is a product of specific face-to-face interaction and not a direct product of social structure. There are four sub-theories producing form of deviance. First, differential association theory. This theory states that the more contact a person has with people who commit deviant acts, the more likely the person is to engage in deviant activities. Yes, it's true because you learn because of your surround of people that create um, deviant activities. You learn something from them and you learn how to interact people and creating deviant activities. Um, Edwin Sutherland, 1961, suggested that all human behavior, include deviance, is learned through associations with others, especially in primary group. Um, the primary group is the families, close friends, um, cousins, business partners, muna siya mga primary group of people. So, example, in families, if nidako ka nga imong nakita nimo imong papa nga smoker, so you learn from your father that you also a smoker because um, you feel akong papa bitaw smoker, so it's okay for me. Um, a person tendency in engaging in criminal activity depends on his or her frequency of association with those who encourage violations of norms compared with those who encourage conformity. Number 2. Self-esteem theory. This theory states that people choose deviance or conformity depending on which will do the most to enhance their self-esteem. So, from the word self-esteem is self-love. When you have a self-love, you don't engage on deviance activity. It because you love yourself. You don't have to harm yourself because of that activity. Having a healthy self-esteem can help motivate you to reach your goals. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you are able to set appropriate boundaries in relationship and maintains a healthy relationship with yourself and others. So, having a healthy self-esteem, you can focus on what your goals in your life do you want in the future. Next, 3. Control theory. This theory, developed by Travis Hershey 1969, suggests that deviance arises from the particular social arrangement, especially the inability of society to control adequately the activities of its member. Deviance occur when individuals lack of taste to conventional society that are necessary to curb their normal tendency to deviance. In control theory state that social control is direct affected by the strength of social bonds, that deviance result from feeling of disconnection from society. In these situations, if you are og sakto kag kuan hatag og care sa imuhang mga friends, so did you na siya maka-feel of disconnections. So maka-control siya sa iyang kaugalingon nga di ko magbuhat og sayop nga para makaguba rag friendship. Mao na siya ay control theory. Hershey suggested that conformity is a function of 4 types of social controls. So, ang control theory naa siya 4 types social controls. Attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief. If naa ka ng attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief, mas wala kay tendency nga makakommit ka og deviance activities. Number 4, labeling theory. According to this theory, deviance is a result of being labeled by society. Howard Baker, 1973, popularized this theory by stating that social groups create deviance by making the rules whose infractions constitutes deviance, and by applying these rules to particular people and labeling them as an outsider. Baker claims that deviance is nothing more than behavior the people is labeled. So in labeling theory, we're in a society that we label people, like for examples, people having positions, like for example, one of the politics, you respect for him because of their positions. And like for example in deviance, you label the deviance such as being a criminal can become one of that overtakes one of entire identity. Those with criminal labels as distrusted and disdained widely, an individual may believe that criminals are completely unable to behave morally. So, in labeling theory, like for example, naayo sa katawo nga priso. So, imo siyang gilabel siya man tong kuan ning na priso tungod kay nangawat siya sa tindahan. So, ang iyang entire identity nahimo na siyang usa siya ka kawatan. So, imo siyang gilabel bilang usa ka kawatan. So, because of that, once the individual have been labeled as a deviant, they face new problems stemming from their reaction to themselves and others to the stereotype of someone with the deviant label. D. Conflict theory. According to this theory, social quality is the root of numerous social problems such as deviance and crime. It starts with an influential group imposes their norms and values on a less powerful group. Usually these norms favor to powerful group their own integrates and standard of morality. Those who are regarded as deviants are subjected to punish by authorities that represent and enforce by view of norms of the strong of powerful group. So in this conflict theory na natay mga law. So law versus the crime. So deviance and crime. So nanatay mga kuan diri para protektahan ta sa mga deviance activities. So mo na siya conflict theory. And conflict theory according to conflict theory developed by Karl Marx theory that society is a state of perpetual conflict because of competitions for limited resources. Conflict theory holds that social order is maintained by dominations and power rather than by consensus and conformity. According to conflict theory, those with wealth and power try to hold to it by any means possible, chiefly by suppressing the poor and powerless, and basic premise of conflict theory is individual and group with society will work to try maximize their own wealth and power. So in this conflict theory is to be labeled all the kuan. It's being fair for all. So Marcionists cited three ways of explaining the social conflict theories of deviance. It is the interest of those in charge, the rich and powerful, which are reflected in any society's laws and norms. Those who threaten their wealth or power are labeled as criminals or radical. Just system is designed by ruling classes to work for the ruling class against the working class or the poor. The ruling class has enough power to keep themselves from being labeled as deviant to those involved in scandals are rarely arrested or sent to jail. So kinsa tong makasala, so mapriso. So naay rights ana ang mga katong mga ruling class, which is mga police, mga lawyers nang naa sa positions. This is a widespread belief that all laws and norms are good and natural. People tend to be concerned over the fact that laws are not applied equally to all members of society. However, most people really consider whether the law themselves are even fair. Some people say that law is not fair. For me, law is not fair because law is all about money. Law is about money. How about the poor people can pay to fight their rights? Functions of deviance. So there are 6 functions of deviance. First, deviance promotes social unity. It tells what most people expect. Number 2, it affirms cultural values and norms. 3, it clarifies moral boundaries. 4, it encourages social change. Number 5 is provide job for people, policemen, lawyer, psychologists. And number 6 is provides a safety valves for society. These functions of deviance. Deviance is a source of harm, injuries, and death. It endangers social norms. It is expensive and needs to secure the services policeman or lawyer of psychologists. It creates disorder in the society, and deviance may lead to another deviant act.